Ladies and gentlemen, there is quite a bit going on. I've for the last 6 days, 6 days, I've gotten 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night easily without even trying. No pills, well, natural sleeping pills, none of that stuff. Oh, you smoke weed? Your mama smokes weed. Yeah, she do. What that got to do with anything? Okay, all right, fine, fine. Then I can't say that one no more. Um, Ladies and gentlemen. It's called Alterel, but I didn't have to take that. Alterel just puts you on your back on your natural sleeping patterns, but I haven't taken Alterel. I just been getting sleep. It hasn't been exhaustion. I'm back on my schedule. I'm not being on a computer 17 hours a day no more. Whew, I had to cut that out because that was causing too much. We've taken care of the heat issue. Finally. It has happened to me right in front of my face and Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, what? Um Ladies and gentlemen, we have been planning something at SATCOM for our people who are involved in debts. That includes those of you who are AmeriLegion, AMCF clients. You're included in this as well. We're getting ready to, and we'll let you know, we're getting ready to file 4 separate lawsuits. 4 separate lawsuits. Now, no, 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 hold on. This ain't gonna be like the $400 billion lawsuit. Oh no, 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 no. The $400 billion lawsuit was against the United States and the Federal Reserve. Go back, take a look. No, we're going after those corporations, but we're not going federal. We're going within the state. Hold on now. Mind you, what we're going to do this time is we're going to select 4 separate areas to bring these class action suits. And we're going to have one of our members being the key petitioner. And any settlement they will receive, as opposed to everyone else's 5%, they'll receive 15. Oh no, this ain't about me. This ain't about the organizations receiving anything. The organizations receive 5 like everybody else. I don't receive nothing. I will be helping put the paperwork together and all of that and giving the information to help y'all. I don't do this for money. I thought you guys would have realized that by now. I really, after all of these years, I really would have thought you would have realized that by now. Go back. Go back. Sorry, my phone's about to ring. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody's allowed to call me at 6:49 in the morning, especially on a weekday. I don't grant people permission to do that. I don't play that. I I ain't never authorized anybody to do that. Now, hold on now. There are certain people I will tell them to call me at this time. For instance, the people at SATCOM, especially if there's an emergency, they can call me at this time. Y'all know Sandy? Sandy gets to call me at this time. But none of the rest of you guys get to call me whenever you feel like it. There is a schedule for a reason. And I am an advocate for that schedule. So we'll be talking about the lawsuits later in videos to help you guys better understand what's going on. But some of you will realize the genius of it. Okay? Some of you really will realize the genius of that. But again, go back and look. You'll see that I don't do anything for money. I charge people only what it cost us. And although many of you have your services were paid for a long time ago and the funds that you gave us have been expended a long time ago, we're still providing services to you. Because it ain't about the stupid money. It never was. It could never be that here. Look, everyone, they're not even understanding the value of what they've gotten so far. We have individuals who have been, we told them, hey, keep paying your mortgage. Once they got our services, they stopped. We told, hey, we're not ready for that yet. We're not ready to handle that yet. And they just stopped. So we had to change our whole entire game plan as to what we were doing to help them, to keep them from being kicked out of their home. Four people did not listen. We told them what they needed to do. They didn't listen. So they're no longer in their home. That's on them. We told them what they needed to do. They made an executive decision. Oh, I'm not doing that. And ladies and gentlemen, they didn't have to do anything difficult. They were just scared. They were just scared because they were afraid of the court. Okay, fine. I told one guy, he actually worked for us, and he did a consult. And I told him, you got to do a consult. I can't do this for you for free. You work for the company. You know how things work. This ain't a company thing. You're going to have to pay for a consult. Just because you know me don't mean you got the right to access me whenever you feel like it. So he paid for a consult. I told him what to do. He did it. Couple of months later, and I'm talking about 7, 8 months later, hoo-wee, please understand. Guess what? I want you to understand. I want you to get it. After, and I found out about this later, he paid somebody $8,000 to get rid of his mortgage. He paid the guy $8,000 to get rid of his mortgage. I said, you paid him $8,000 and what did he do? Well, nothing. I said, and now your money's gone. Yeah. I said, okay, but that's on y'all. That has nothing to do with me. I didn't do that. Well, my wife. Okay, well, I ain't got nothing to do with you and your wife. Your wife and whatever y'all got going on has nothing to do with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I told him, no, I've already told you what to do. I've already done the work for you. So, no, I am going to have to charge you this time. So, you're going to have to pay for a consult because that's the only way I can justify putting forth this type of effort for you. I said, in that way I can explain to you exactly what I'm doing. He says, okay, I'll talk it over with my wife. And then he calls me back. No, he texts me back and says his wife said no. I said, okay. Said, that's your choice. They lost their home. All because his wife said no. Because, they had already lost $8,000 with someone else. I was telling the man to pay for a consult so I could tell him what to do next, so I could help him save his home. Because he worked for us. But just because you work for me, ladies and gentlemen, my private consultations, my private advice, my private information that I give to people, that ain't part of the business. You don't get that for free, stupid mother. Woosah. After all the help that we had provided individuals who worked for us for free, they still want things for free. F all of y'all. No, 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 no. This man went and paid somebody $8,000. Didn't know him from nobody, but he works for me through one of my companies. And he wasn't even willing to pay for the consultation so that I could justify helping him, since we have a policy that they're not allowed to have access to me like that. They know that from day one. It's explained to them when they first come on board. And they were expecting that they were going to get something. So when his wife said no, and I told the other staff about the situation without naming him, because I don't do that, they didn't know who it was. I was explaining a situation, didn't even say it was somebody who worked for us. Just explained the situation. He got butthurt. And he decided he was quitting. I don't give a... You ain't providing that much of anything that I'm going to beg you to stay. That's your choice. Walk away. So I did a consult with a young lady. She was helping a friend out. Her friend was hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. I told her friend, this is what you need to do. That will make that go away. That will take care of that. Hey. And so they decided to do another consult. Both of them came on and they needed some clarification. So I gave it to them. The other one said, well, I got this problem, this problem, this problem. I said, okay, well, this is how you handle that. Yay, everything is done. Everybody's happy. Whoa. The consults do not include videos, does not include links. Does not include any of that extra stuff. That's all extra. I provide that extra. That's a benefit. That's not a guarantee. I tell everybody that during the consult. It's not guaranteed. Well, one young lady called me yesterday on a Monday after 2 p.m. My schedule says no calls on Mondays after 2 p.m. Why? Because we have company meetings on Mondays and I have to prepare for them. Well, I just wanted. I said, no. I said, are you trying to get yelled at? Well, I'm just going to have to accept that consequence. What the? Who gave you permission to accept a consequence based on my rules? You have no idea what the consequence is. So she got off the phone like she was upset because I wouldn't talk to her, wouldn't even let her say what she was calling about. So I told it to the staff. Then she telegrams me a message. And the message is talking about how she didn't appreciate my attitude, how she didn't appreciate the way I came at her. What the? Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not that nigga. Okay, I was never that nigga, but no, I am that nigga. You don't get to come at me crooked. Yeah. I allowed certain people to do it in the past. But too many of you ignorant mother are thinking that you can come at me any way you want. I am here to provide information to people. I am not here to be your friend. So if you want my assistance, I will give it to you gladly, but you are not going to dictate to me how I do it, when I do it, and why I do it. Sorry, it's been building up. And building up and building up. That's why it's solid. Okay? These are principles. Now, I have a meeting at 7 o'clock. I have to get to that. But that person, I had to block her, had to delete all of the communications, the entire telegram. I made a mistake because I deleted it on her side too. But like I said, it's not guaranteed, and that's what she gets for trying to check me. She tried to contact me again, tried to explain things. I don't want to hear it. I ain't got time. I warned you, and then you ignored me. I warned you again, and you ignored me. Enough. Sorry. Welcome to the EeoN channel. I'm so glad to meet all of you. If you're new, this is what I go through. And this is what I go through. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one.